You know, out of all the Jurassic toys I have, not having an Indoraptor is really kneecapping the background of this video. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be making my own version of the Indoraptor. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is a movie I have mixed feelings about. There are some great elements and some very suboptimal bits of this movie.
We made it! Yeah!
But overall, it was a lot better than the movies that came after it. Anyhow, the Indoraptor seems to basically just be if the Indominus Rex had the Velociraptor as a base genome instead of T-Rex. To recap what's in the Indominus Rex, we've got Majungasaurus, Rugops, Carnotaurus, Giganotosaurus, Therizinosaurus, Deinosuchus, Tyrannosaurus, Velociraptor, Cuttlefish, Pit Viper, Tree Frog, and I think that's it. But that's a lot of things. The Indoraptor is quite simplified compared to the Indominus. No camouflage, no heat sensing that we can see. Although it might be able to change its body temperature, but there's nowhere in the movie where that would have even been able to be figured out. And it doesn't even bother communicating with Blue, even though it's mostly Raptor, which is interesting. Supposedly it might have echolocation, but I don't know if that was ever confirmed. When I redesigned the Indominus Rex, I used the same animals that were in its genome and kind of just mixed it around to make something new. However, if I do that for this particular animal, it would be pretty redundant. Instead, I'm going to get the main cool features of a bunch of accurate dinosaurs to sort of make a convergent Indoraptor, even if it's not genetically homogeneous. So let's get to it. For my base, I'm going with Utahraptor. The Utahraptor is the largest described dromaeosaur and is a good deal larger than the Jurassic World Velociraptors. This thing was built like a bruiser, with the short, stocky limbs, a robust torso, and a powerful bite. They weren't just scaled up Deinonychus. First, let's get to the head. The Indoraptor has a bit of JPT Rex syndrome, with those ridges and a bunch of mangled teeth similar to the I-Rex. I'm going to steer clear of that since this trope is so overused. What I'm thinking of for the head is to add some Ceratosaurus. Ceratosaurus has these beautiful ornamental horns on the head that could look super intimidating if done right. They also have incredibly long teeth, which were the subject of a 2026 paper that compared them to saber-toothed cats. To be clear, these aren't saber-tooths themselves, but the ecological implications are interesting. They seem to be more adapted to quickly taking out small prey, and their teeth were incredibly thin and sharp, while still being long. Since the Indoraptor is designed to specifically kill humans, this could be incredibly effective. The Indoraptor is bulletproof. It's covered in armor that I think is from Deinosuchus, like the Indominus. It also has the Indominus' spiky quill things that I've got no clue about. For armor, Ceratosaurus comes in handy since it's the only theropod that we know had osteoderms. The stuff on Carnotaurus and other abelisaurs were feature scales, not actual bone. But for good measure, I'm going to add in the armor of Giacchino. Giacchino is a thyreophoran of some sort that's kind of a complete anomaly, but it was small, bipedal, and presumably mobile. So this armor shouldn't hinder our Indoraptor's agility too much. I'm also using the newly discovered ornithopod Halong. This guy was found with soft tissue impressions of actual quills. They weren't feathers or scales, which is really interesting, and I think they'd make a great addition. For the arms, the Indom went with the Therizinosaurus, but since those claws are no longer thought to be capable of high-stress actions like cleaving the skulls of other dinosaurs, I'm opting for something more fitting for the Indoraptor, Megaraptor. Megaraptorans are an enigmatic group of dinosaurs that are now thought to be the closest relatives of the Tyrannosauroids, and they basically did the exact opposite strategy of their kin. Their arms became long and strong, with giant claws. The reason I'm picking Megaraptor as opposed to something larger like Maip is because Megaraptor is far more complete in this area and gets the job done nicely. Also, Indoraptor has 4 fingers having a sort of thumb, but I'm giving mine the prehensile pinky seen in basal hadrosauroids, like Iguanodon, or in this case Halong, to avoid having to draw wings again and to hammer home the sorry state of this animal while showing off the hand features better. The arms are going to have sparse and broken feathers. Now, this thing would be a lot more deadly if it wasn't so cumbersome. them. The Ute-raptor proportions are really weighing it down. To solve that, I'll be adding a super underrated dinosaur, Elaphrosaurus. This was a ceratosaurian noasaurid, a bizarre sister family to the abelisaurs that includes Mashikosaurus. I've actually got a whole video on these guys currently in development, and no, it's not Eustreptospondylus, guys. Anyways, Elaphrosaurus was basically the ceratosaur version of an ornithomimid, or I guess ornithomimids are knockoff Elaphrosaurines since they evolved way in the Jurassic. It was built for speed, with a tibia longer than the femur, and this and the more medium build of Megaraptor will allow it to catch pretty much any person if the plot allows it. Okay, this thing looks rough. That's because this was a literal collage. Let's make it more cohesive. The only thing to do now is to do a final artwork depicting this version of Indoraptor in action. Okay, I decided halfway through to remove the how long aspects of this design because I think they would be better served in a potential future video. And I'm going to replace it with Troodon from Jurassic Park the game. It gives me an excuse to use big glowing eyes, which for some reason I do in pretty much all of my drawings where something's supposed to be creepy. Is just super effective and they're really fun to do. I don't care that it's everywhere. Sorry for not hitting record. I was watching Netflix's The Dinosaurs. Can you believe this jerk? Just walking around on my painting. Oi! Leave! To make sure that I know you stuck around all the way to the end, like a true fan, comment your favorite hybrid from the Jurassic franchise. If you want to see how I redesigned the Indominus Rex, stick around for the end card, and I will see you guys in my next video where we will be talking about some very weird dinosaurs. Bye!